Hello, fabulous superstar Leo. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of August 2023. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It is a remarkable astrological month, without a doubt. Big moves happening in the sky now. Boys, it's a very special time. For you in particular, this month may end up being one of the more consequential months for you. And for you, I'm actually going to start in the middle because it is in the middle of the month that we are going to have a new moon in your sign. On the 16th of August is when a new moon close in the sky to a retrograde Venus will take place. But this new moon is also speaking with precision in a conversation of tension with Uranus. There is energy here that is about clarity. It is surprise. It is, I would even say, shock as well. It's insights into who you are and what your truth actually is. And if you can trust events as they unfold, because ultimately that's what a month like this requires, you will find yourself that much more clear and in some ways feeling lighter, more open to your future. New moons always bring with them a sense of possibility, a sense of excitement. New moons are new beginnings. They are seeds being planted and new insights, new conceptions emerge. And for you in particular, this is really about you, a personal new year that starts now very quickly, for some Leos, very suddenly as well. If your birthday is anywhere near that new moon, this is going to be a year of brand new beginnings, a year where you're likely to feel this energy of leaving the past behind in quick moments and feeling really excited about the future ahead. But really, all Leos out there are going to benefit from this energy, especially at this time. It's not easy. Squares from Uranus. Sometimes the surprises, they don't feel very good. Sometimes there's frustration. The things that we want to transform, the things we want to have different, don't feel as clear as we would like. And yet there's real potential here to tap into a deeper love. Venus retrograde in your sign is inviting you to go within to understand the source of your own love. That includes towards yourself. That includes in a more larger sense, a more metaphorical sense, the love that you might have for humanity, for yourself, and for your place within the larger, perfect tapestry. It invites you to look at your life with heart, even when it's hard, and even those parts of your life that you wish you could go back and make different in some way. But if you did that, you wouldn't be you. You wouldn't be who you are with all the blessings and all the potential and all the growth that you've earned, but also with what is coming up ahead. In very practical ways, a new moon in your sign gives you a chance to redefine, is a chance to get clear on your priorities, your identity, what matters to you most, what matters to you first is made clearer with energy like this, but yeah, made clearer rather suddenly. And where that clarity is rooted in heart, you can't go wrong. Venus is retrograde, which means it's not the time to make big life-altering changes guided by heart. That includes romantically, though I'll talk about love more specifically in just a bit. However, it's a powerful time to understand the wellspring of love within you, to know that it is strong and endless, to feel its grace. Now, what we also have this month, if that wasn't enough to make this a big consequential month for you, this is a blue moon month, meaning that we have two full moons. We start the month on a full moon, we end the month on a full moon as well. As we begin the month, that full moon in your opposite sign is key. It speaks to another person coming into focus for you, a one-on-one alliance. This could be a business partnership or professional alliance. What's interesting about this full moon is that it is speaking in a conversation of tension with Jupiter, but a quick moving alignment with Mars as well. And so I see this as provocation. That Mars energy says buttons might get pushed in quick ways, but the promise is that resolution can come quickly as well. It's about getting a rise. It's about the adrenaline rush. But then we get that square of Jupiter, which says that we may overestimate what's actually going on with another person. We might miss the mark. We might have high expectations, overconfidence. It could be that we or someone else is over-promising what can actually be delivered. And with that sense of heightened promises, heightened possibilities, a heightened sense of fantasy that might be there as well, well, it's hard for people to live up to that. Where you've had that fantasy before, this is where you're seeing things from a more measured perspective, that maybe there's more work to do to get to those promises. Where you've aligned with others for shared prosperity, that sense of all that could be possible feels that much more on the surface. And yet, again, over-promising is something you have to be careful of. Whether it's you to another person or them to you, it might be completely sincere. It might not be sincere. But if it is completely sincere, it really might be that this person really believes that they can match what it is that they are promising. Pace yourself and be yourself, as I like to say, but especially with a month like this, with a new moon in your sign, smack dab in the middle, that becomes that much more an important mantra. Pace yourself and be yourself. We end the month on a full moon, and that full moon takes place in a wealth-oriented part of the sky for you. Now, on a more emotional level, it has to do with authenticity, psychological regeneration, and honesty as well. It has to do with an understanding of transformation and regeneration, power, how you understand it, how you wield it. It's also about your relationship to financial institutions. So that's your ability to access resources like grants, loans, bursaries, credit cards, tax returns, benefits you might qualify for. This full moon that we end the month with, the blue moon that we end the month with, is rather interesting, mainly because it is also in a quick moving alignment with Mars. So again, something rising, a provocation, an inspiration. But it is hand in hand with Saturn. And Saturn suggests consequence. It suggests maturity and responsibility. And so this may be a time when you very consciously choose to take on some financial responsibility. Like you know that you can. You know that you'll be okay. You're willingly taking that on. But because this is a full moon and full moons often bring with them completion and closure, it's possible that some Leos at this time are paying off a loan. For example, lots of people pay off student loans, and there's this whole thing on TikTok about how exciting it is to pay off your student loan. I know the feeling as well. And so, yeah, there might be some Leos who are celebrating in that sense, but it really is about meeting your responsibilities. Well, it might be at this time outside of finances that you are coming to understand your own psychological motivations more deeply, coming to understand some authentic self, and understanding what needs to change to bring it forward. Being honest with yourself facilitates some shift, and behaving from a place of responsibility and getting clear where your responsibilities actually lie strengthens you, fuels healthy self-respect, navigating forward from here. When we have such strong financial energy like this full moon that we end the month with, the money you need is there. Sometimes you have to engage the energy consciously, which means show up for your lessons. It's then that you're able to find resources become that much more accessible to you. Now, where it comes to matters of love, wow, love is a massively important month for the Leos out there. On the one hand, that new moon in your sign, close in the sky to a retrograde Venus. Already the fact that you've got retrograde Venus in your sign makes love important. You add to it a new moon awakening that Venus. Well, again, it could be directed within, but chances are there's some scenario happening outside of you romantically that's helping you to learn and reflect more deeply on self-love as well. That full moon, though, that we start the month with, when we have important lunar activity in your opposite sign, it means that someone is there to help you to understand where you are in love and how you feel about it. That doesn't mean that something has to, quote unquote, happen, right? But there tends to be a touchstone, some interaction with another that awakens an understanding within you of love. For those of you open to meeting someone new, I do think that it is very likely you're going to meet somebody early this month. And there might be something about them that feels like it does get that rise out of you. Maybe they like that. Maybe they're trying to do that intentionally. There may be heightened expectations or hopes around what this could be. But remember, Venus is retrograde. I do feel like by the time we get to that new moon, you're going to have a clearer understanding of someone new that you might meet now and what it says about you. And I don't mean that if you don't like this person, then, oh goodness, what's going on with you? Not at all. What I mean is this is an opportunity to reflect more deeply on some truth about you and where it is that truth is rooted in love. Then you're on the right track. You're learning what you need to learn. It could be that there's real potential here. That might be part of that overly optimistic Jupiterian energy there. But at least by the time we get to that new moon, you are having a breakthrough in honesty and perception in an instant. Chances are you're seeing much more clearly, connecting it to a sense of who you know yourself to be. For those of you just starting to date someone, again, powerful month in the context of relationships, of dating, of love. So much focus being spent on another person, especially as we begin the month. But as we navigate to that new moon, well, chances are you will be seeing things differently in some way, perhaps in an instant. Either it is that you've got to spend time and focus on something that has to do with you, or it feels as if you're able to be that much more engaged and open to this person that you're getting to know. But the clarity, the insights, they may take you by surprise. So it's important to stay in touch with you and who you know yourself to be. Chances are you'll see it differently in some way. And with Venus retrograde in your sign, breakups that happen tend to not stay broken up, but that doesn't mean you need to be anywhere you don't want to be. It's also very possible with energy like this that with full hope in your heart, you decide to dive right in and see what it is that a relationship could feel like with this person. And for those of you in an established bond, what a remarkable time this can be in the context of established bonds. Well, your partner very likely is going to come into focus for you powerfully so at the beginning of the month. It could be just things that are happening in their life and you are present for them. It could be about the relationship itself, but there is this sense of not just over optimism, but refusing to see certain details. Whether it's you that's refusing or whether it is your partner in a situation in their own life that isn't seeing some details very clearly, that can feel somewhat frustrating to you in some way. Outside of that, though, it might be that genuinely both of you have a heightened sense of hope. And that can be a beautiful thing to nourish. It is as we get to the new moon, though, that love is very much on the surface for you. You're getting that much more clear about yourself. Where it is that the partnership is strong, well, the changes, the twists and turns may very well have to do with you and what you're feeling and what's shifting in terms of the things that matter to you. But this could also show up in terms of what's happening with your relationship itself. That retrograde Venus is going to invite you to go within and to tap into the truth of the love that you feel. Where it is that there's been doubt, well, at this new moon, it'll be magnified. Where it is that there's been no doubt at all, at this new moon, the energy of love feels that much more solidified at this time. What I love about this month for you, there's so much here. It's a powerful and meaningful astrological moment. I am going to say that new moon in your sign. It is the star of the show now. And that new moon brings powerfully into focus some understanding of who you are. And it really is a brand new year for the Leos out there as well. Embrace it, celebrate it in some way. And if you don't consciously celebrate it, that's okay as well. Chances are the celebration will just find you. That square from Uranus is a surprise a minute, but it can also be positively cleansing as you acknowledge some truth, and it changes you, enlivens you, and gets you excited about the future ahead. Well, thank you so much for watching. You can get a video like this each and every week for each and every sign for as low as just $3 a month with Choose Your Membership Rate at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. You get expanded, exclusive video scopes, access to exclusive live events, perhaps even consultations with me, Synchronicity University passes, and so much more. All of that in the Superstar space at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. Links are in the description below. Thank you so much again for watching. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.